Gordon felt bad for the way he treated Toby 15 years ago. I've been trying to apologize, but he doesn't trust me, he puffed. He felt like making peace with Toby, but did not know how to have it all forgiven. At a yard, Eric was planning a scheme with Stuart, a dark red Class 35 diesel, Rick, a light blue Class 46 diesel, and Ronald, a gray Class 40 diesel. You three capture Gordon and take him to me. I want to deal with him personally, Eric puffed. And so that is what the 3 diesels did. Gordon was returning home after finishing his jobs when Rick, Stuart, and Ronald were in his way. We need you to come with us, worried Ronald. Why? Asked Gordon. Because he wants to tell you something, replied Rick. When they brought Gordon to Eric, they were pleased. Hello, old foe, Eric puffed. Old foe? What do you mean? Gordon puffed. Here's my story, in case you forgot about it, Eric replied. I was once a Beta Class 35 Hymec diesel, built in 1920, and enjoyed my after-work rubdowns. I enjoyed pulling the express all across the other railway. I also pulled freight trains on occasion. My life was running smoothly. What day is it you're talking about? Gordon puffed. I'm about to tell you, and to me, it's sadder than Anne Frank's death, Eric replied. I was due out of Cambridge Station with the express and got a clear and through. But you were nearing the siding with another passenger train. I kept going, despite this occurring. When I got near you, it was too late. We both survived, but sustained different levels of damage. You sustained minor damage, which was quickly fixed and was repainted blue for the Northwestern Railway, because they bought you that day. As for me, I was heavily damaged. They rebuilt me into an LNER V3 tank engine. I heard the men cheering you on, but they rejected me. It made me sad. something inside me snapped. I had developed a vendetta against you since that day. That sounds bad, puffed Gordon. It does, Eric replied. And I will have my revenge by blowing you up, and I will be turned back into the Beta Class 35 Diesel I used to be, he added. Gordon then decided to leave the area. He will lead us to Toby. Follow him, Eric puffed. Sure thing, replied the 3 Diesels. Prove your loyalties to me during this task I gave you, Eric replied. Gordon then found Toby, who ignored him. Soon, Eric arrived. Gordon, I knew you would one day be of use to us. Eric puffed. This made Gordon cross. You tricked me, puffed Gordon. I did, didn't I? Now, Toby is going with us. Bye-bye, you filth, Eric replied. Just wait until I get my buffers on you, Gordon puffed after they were long gone. Gordon arrived at a shed one night. I hope Eric does not try to get me, he puffed. When he fell asleep, he had a nightmare. This looks great, puffed Gordon. He did not know this, but Eric snuck up behind on him. Bye-bye, galloping sausage! Mwahahahahaha! He puffed. Gordon had realized that it was just a dream. Thank God I did not explode, he chuffed. Then he went back to sleep. The next day, Gordon went to a yard. I need some help with some problems I got, he puffed. When Thomas, Percy, and Duck arrived, Gordon told them about his story about how he acted to Toby in 2004 and how much he wanted to make peace with him. I can see that, puffed Percy. All of us will do it together. And so they left to save Toby. Then the 4 engines confronted Eric. Huh, what's this? Some sort of gathering? He puffed. Yes, puffed Gordon. Here's a little something. You 4 blockheads either surrender or I push your wooden friend into a fuel tanker that is right behind the shed we're at, Eric added. You will never win, puffed Gordon. You 3 Diesels, do whatever you want with Thomas, Percy, and Duck. I'll deal with Gordon. Eric replied. I want you to leave, puffed Eric. This caused Gordon to pull him away. Toby was surprised at this, even though the freight car's brakes were still on. Eric went backwards with Gordon approaching him. Ha 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 ha! You think you can stop me like that? He puffed. I'd say yes, Gordon puffed. He and Eric were then pushing on one another. Eventually, Gordon found a weakness of Eric's strength and exploited it. He bumped Eric onto a jet engine. Is that the best you can do? Puffed Eric, not knowing that the bump had started up the jet engine. The jet engine got louder. Oh God, no! Screamed Eric as the jet engine pushed him away. No! Screamed Eric as he came off the tracks into a field and then exploded with the jet engine. When Gordon arrived at the scene, he saw the burning remains of Eric and the jet engine. Never mess with me, he puffed as he went back to help Toby. He then backed down onto a freight car which had its brakes taken off and pulled it away from Toby. He then pulled in next to him. Toby, please hear me out. The reason why I saved you is for me to say I'm sorry I was rude 15 years ago, he puffed. After 30 seconds of thinking, Toby forgave Gordon, which made him happy. I know that what you did with Eric definitely made up for calling me an improper engine. The past is in the past, and we can't change it. We only can learn from it, puffed Toby. Then Duck, Thomas, and Percy arrived. While we were dealing with Eric's henchmen, we managed to defeat Stuart, the dark red class 35, and Rick, the light blue class 46. But Ronald, the gray class 40, retreated, Duck puffed. That's some good news, Gordon puffed. Agreed, Toby added. And Gordon explained everything that happened between him and Toby. You both made up? That's nice to hear, puffed Percy. All the engines present were happy. Gordon felt proud that he and Toby made their peace, and since then, the two engines have been firm friends. It had been a month since Conrad was covered in rocks. He was being lifted out by the breakdown train. After being lifted onto a flatbed, Jane took Conrad away. After he was fixed and washed, Conrad met up with Ronald, who had retreated in humiliation. "Hey, I see you're humiliated," whirred Ronald. "Do you want to team up with me?" added Conrad. "Of course," added Ronald. "There's always room for one more," said a voice. It was Kyle. He had returned from the bottom of the ocean. "Are you okay with me joining?" he asked. "Of course," replied Ronald. Meanwhile, Thomas took the remains of Eric and the jet engine away for scrap. None of the engines ever wanted to talk about him or his fate, but at least they are happy with Gordon for his heroism and for putting an end to Eric's reign of terror. Some other good things happened that day. Adam got a job as the permanent station pilot of Knapford, and boy did he start enjoying it. Nia was also given the honor of taking some important people on a tour of Sodor. She became a hit with them. Rebecca's natural habit of keeping the troublesome trucks under control returned. What happened to Jason? After the South Sodor Railway closed, one buyer was interested in purchasing him, but couldn't do it, and so he was left in a shed, gathering dust and cobwebs. I wonder if he'll be found and put back in working order. Don't you?